When you're building models, no matter how you build them, typically sooner or later you're going to come across a point where you're going to get surface model flags show up in your model. This example here, I've got a number of different surface situations where flags typically arise, and so we wanted to address that with the model flag fixer functionality of the Smart Edit command. I'm going to show you that here. Let's take a look at this in 3D and just take a look at the reasons why you get flags in a model. If you're looking at cross-section work, you'll often get vertical walls in cross-sections. This is an example of a cutting, and in this case you've got multiple points in the verticals here, sometimes 2 points, one at the top and one at the bottom, sometimes a point in the middle. It's all very common in surfaces, and these kind of things, you can fix these by moving these nodes at the top of the walls backwards and deleting the extra nodes in here just to give yourself slightly off vertical. In this case it's the same thing, you've got vertical walls, but in this case you've got like an MSE wall where it's vertical here. In these examples here you've got vertical walls where these two lines, top and bottom of the wall, are too close at the end here and they're crossing each other, or they're right on top of each other, and so consequently a surface model can't be formed. In this case you've got a wall base and a wall top, and the lines are parallel with each other but vertically separated and in the same location, so again you get flags where they overlap. In this kind of case you get these very often from Bentley cross sections. This is like typical retaining wall type work, and again you've got vertical walls in the bottom section and in the top section where the nodes are on top of each other in the same location. In this case you've got parallel lines running along the top and bottom of the wall, and you've got flags at the top of the wall and the bottom of the wall to show you where those are. In this case you don't have any flags because these are three vertical posts maybe of a noise wall, and there's no flags because the surface can't form because these are actually purely vertical. So in this case you need to nudge one of the nodes out of the top or the bottom in a specific direction to take them off vertical so a surface can actually form. These are just more examples of the same thing. Up here you've got, this is kind of fairly typical of a basement or as a subgrade adjustment, and you end up with a top and a bottom where it's meant to be a box out, or it's meant to be a vertical upstand, and one of the two, you're getting two lines in the same place vertically separated, and again you get flags. And in this example we've got a number of situations. We've got crossing brake lines, so this brake line here is crossing this brake line through here, which puts a flag at the high point and uses the low point in the model. Over here, if we look at this without the surfaces being visible, you can see that we've got two lines meeting at different elevations. Here we've got three lines meeting at the same location with different elevations, and over here we've got two survey lines that cross over each other with one point in this situation, which will create flags here and here. So again, if I turn the surfaces back on, you'll see because this line crosses over this one, it creates two line crossings at the same different locations and same location, different elevations, and that throws golf flags as well. And so we need to kind of find a solution for fixing all of these things quickly and easily. So in Smart Edit we added the model flag fixer function, and if we go into here and we pick M for model flag fixer, and then we can come in here and say which method do we want to fix. So the first one is you've got nudge nodes on a line. This is for the cross-section type workflow, and if we look at these cross-sections here, we can click on the line that we want to fix, and at that point then, as we did it, I don't know if you noticed, but the flags on the verticals disappeared. We can watch it on the next one in the same way, and in this case it's saying what do you want to do. You can move the upper nodes and you move them back along the line. It identifies the nodes that need adjusting, and you can say you want to adjust those backwards or forwards along the line accordingly, and you can put in a nudge amount. So we're only going to use 100th, that's all you need, and at that point then you hit the enter key and that fixes the flags on that line. Do the same thing on this one. If you watch the flag over here, you'll watch as soon as I click this line it actually will clean up the line to get rid of extra nodes in the vertical, and at that point then you just press enter to accept it. Same on that one, you saw these two flags disappear and enter to accept it, and now we've got a perfect surface model. Same with this one. If we click on these ones here as our lines here, so again if I go back up here, click on this line and press enter, that then fixes that one. Click on this line, enter, click on this line, enter, and that's fixed those. This case now in this one we don't want to nudge the nodes along the line, we want to nudge the line sideways. So we're going to say nudge the line, we're going to pick the line. This is going to move the line sideways so it's not sitting on top of the other one. So we're going to say move it to the left. Now if we don't know the direction of the line, we can press the show direction. That shows the arrow going down the line from this left to right on the screen here. And then we can say we want to nudge it by 0.01, and we're going to go to the left and then hit apply or enter, and that just fixes it. Next one is this one, and we want to do the same basic thing on that one, so we hit enter there and that fixes that one. Now these ones here, we're back on the nudge nodes again, so we're going to do nudge nodes online, and we're going to pick this line here and press enter, and that will fix those. Pick this one, enter, pick this one, enter, pick this one, enter, and those are all addressed. Now these ones are the line nodes again, so we're going to go nudge the line itself, and this time we want to nudge the top line in towards the right here, so we're going to go right here and pick this line right here and press enter. And then this one here we want to go the same way, so we want to pick this line and go to the right, and this one we want to go to the left, and we want to do the same thing with this line over here, go to the left, and that then fixes that one up. Now these ones here are a little trickier, so in this case we're going to say we want to nudge the nodes on a line, so I'm going to say we want to nudge the nodes on a line, and in this case we're going to use the direction method. So in here we're going to pick the line we want to nudge. In this case we can say specify direction, and we want to go 180 degrees, so we want to go to the south. This is due north going this way, due south going this way, and we want to go a nudge of 0.01, and again we're going to nudge the upper node or the lower node. So in this case I'm going to nudge the lower node 100th going towards the south. So if we watch this one, I'm going to make it a little bit more just so you can see it. I'm going to make it a foot just to exaggerate this, and then press the enter key, and you can see it nudged it. Okay, so we go back. Now I'm going to just undo that one, and then we'll just do it 0.01 again, and we'll say apply. And so that just did that one. Click this one, same thing again, and then we'll click this line, and that nudged that one. And then if we make these three into a surface model, so that's fixed that one. If this one isn't quite enough, then we would come back to this one again to pick the first line here and nudge it 0.01 again. At that point, now we fixed it. This one over here is the same thing again, but with more nodes that are problematic. So nudge nodes along the line, and again all we need to do is pick on this line and press enter, click on this line and press enter, click on this line and press enter, and click on this line and press enter, and we fixed up the model extremely quickly there. This one here, depending on whether we want the upper line going on the inside or the outside, so in this case they're vertically above each other in the same location. So if we take this line here, see the direction, if we nudge it to the left, so if I say we want to nudge the line itself, pick the line, and in this case we want to nudge it to the left by 0.01 and hit the apply key, that will give us a flat top with a box out. But if I undo that and do it to the right and do 0.01 and then hit apply, now we've got a box out for a subgrade adjustment or a basement. So now we get into the more tricky ones. These are more surface related, so I'm going to go into the plan view to show you this one, and we've got a bunch of flags here. So in this case we're going to use the fixed crossing lines first. So in this case we've got elevation of 105 and 104 crossing over a line of 100 to 101. So between these 2 points it would be about 100.5, and between these 2 points it would be 104.5, which is why you've got a flag showing as a bust here. So in this case, when we do this, we can say there's only 2 lines involved. If there's 3 or more, we would pick that, and we'll show you that up here on this one over here. But in this case we're just going to do 2 lines, and all we do is we pick line 1 and line 2, and it pops up a list of options in here, and we can decide to keep the lower one or the higher one, or we can take the mean of the 2. And so you can choose which one you want to use, or you can type in your own preferred value. Now you can see all the values. You can maybe think of the value that you want on that location and hit OK. Now if we look at that in 3D as we do it, or I can show it afterwards maybe. So that's now fixed the flag went away, the surface got regenerated, and what it did now is it pulled this line down to the mean and pulled this one up to the mean to make that flag go away. The next one is kind of a similar deal. We've got two lines. This line over here is sitting high compared to this one. We probably want that sloping down to tie into this line. That could be like a driveway or two center lines that are coming together. So let's just do the same thing again. So we pick line 1 and we pick line 2. In this case, did I pick line 1 there? I didn't pick line 1, right. So pick line 1, pick line 2, and at that point now again it gives us the value. So line 2, which way around did I pick it now? Let's escape from there, do that one more time. So if I pick line 1 and line 2, and then I want to take the line 1 elevation and say OK, and that will then just drop this one down and fix the elevations. Now the next one is a little trickier because there's more than two lines coming in there, so which line do you want to win? So we'll come across here. You can see there's a line coming in here, there's a line going across here, and there's a line going across here. Let's say we want this purple line to win here, so we're going to say use 3 or more lines, pick line 1 and pick line 2, and then say we want to use line 1's elevation and say OK, and then it says pick the other lines that you want to adjust, and at that point those are adjusted at the same location. When I press enter, it fixes all of those points, so they're now tied to the same location, elevation. Forget this one over here, we'll come back to that. So you can see we've now fixed those 3 lines to be at a common elevation. Now in this one, this is a very common scenario where you get 2 surveyed lines and they're supposed to be running parallel at different elevations, like a top and bottom of a wall, but just because of where you surveyed the points, you got a point incorrect. So this is like what we call move nodes online, and what that allows us to do is we can pick the line that we want to hold fixed. So in this case, if I come over here, I want to hold this line fixed, and I want to fix this line, and I want to fix this node, and I want to nudge it so that this node moves the other side of the line by a value that I type in. Let's say I want to go 0.1 the other side, and I just press enter, and it moves that point to the other side of the line, and that then gives us a nice vertical retaining wall going through there, and all we did is make a minor adjustment to the line to pull it across to the other side. So this is the commonest reasons why you would do flag fixes. There probably are others, but these are the big 4 reasons that we came up with as to why you would want to do flag fixing on a surface. And doing that by hand is kind of long-winded and kind of time-consuming because you've got to calculate the elevation that you want to use. Whereas this gives you the values to choose from. And the other thing is, you've got to pick up the nodes and move them. You can either use grip edits or you can use the edit line string function to do it, but it's not quite as interactive as fixing it this way. And we find that this is a much more efficient way of fixing flags in a surface model. And you can just toggle between the different modes depending on what you happen to be doing. So that's the fix flags function. Hopefully you like it. Thanks.